Hi, Dr. Ruby Payne, Chapter 1 of Emotional Poverty 2. In this chapter, we're going to look at the whole concept of body tells, how your body indicates that it's in distress, and some tools also for making sure you're getting closer to the truth on information. Joe Navarro, who wrote the book What Everybody Says, worked for FBI. And he said that if you want to know the most honest part of the body, it would be the feet. Now, if you think about that, for many educators, when I ask, they say the eyes. But what Navarro said is the further you get away from the brain with the body, the more honest the reaction is. So let's just go back and revisit. One of the things we know is that when you get an emotional hit, anything that jeopardizes safety or belonging, the first place that it responds to or registers in your brain is the brainstem. And the brainstem is hooked to your spine, and it goes down your spine with the vagus nerve. Now, your brain processes in emotion 200 to 5,000 times faster than thought. So it makes perfectly sense that when you have a hit, it goes down your spine, down into your legs, and your first response is your feet. And since the first response of the brain has to be, am I going to freeze, fight, or run, it's going to be indicated in the feet. He said, what happens when the body, now he said, you can never know 100% of the time when somebody's telling you the truth or not. But what happens is there's always a relationship in the body between a distress signal and a pacifying behavior. So one of the things that will happen is that the foot will jerk, and it's one of the first indicators that there is emotional distress. And then immediately the body will pacify itself. Like, for example, one of the most common is this one right here, when you rub on your throat. There's a bunch of nerve endings right here. Women will play with their jewelry, or men will play with their tie, okay? He tells this story in the book of the FBI was investigating this woman, and they were looking for her son. And they thought that she was probably keeping her son at her home. So they asked the woman, does your son ever stay here? The woman's foot jerked. She said no, and immediately she started doing this. About 10 minutes later, they said, and when your son would come to stay, what room would he stay in? And her foot jerked. She said, he never stays here, and she started doing this. About 10 minutes later, they said, and what bed would your son sleep in when he stays here? Her foot jerked, and she said, he doesn't stay here, and she started doing this, okay. They got a search warrant, and the boy was there. It's that discrepancy between the pacifying behavior and the emotional distress. And the book, Chapter 1, as you read it, has lots and lots of examples of these, what the differences are between what is a stressor, what is a pacifying effect. Like, for example, for females, since 76% of educators K-12 are females, one of the things that's really important to know is that when a female stands with her feet together, it indicates a weak position. If you're female and you want to be viewed as stronger, you stand with your feet apart, okay? Another one, it's a soothing behavior, for example, is they'll start rubbing their legs like this, okay? They're soothing themselves. We've all seen a student do that. And one of the things, often when we question a student, we're behind a desk, and really honestly, you don't want to be there. You want to be sitting beside the student somewhere you can watch what their body is telling you. When they're looking at you, but their feet are pointed toward the door, they want to run. And so what happens is you begin to look at these body tells. If you go on our website, www.ahaprocess.com/comfort, I've made a chart that you can download that has comfortable and uncomfortable, and you can begin to look at situations and figure, all right, which indicates comfort, which is discomfort, and you begin to understand what those mean. Now, part of what happens here is because your body operates vibrationally and chemically. Everything that happens in your body is either chemical or electrical transmission of data. If you've ever been in a room with an angry person, you know that the heart waves go 3 feet out from your body. In the book, one of the things you'll see is a chart from the Heart Math Institute of a boy and his dog. When the boy is separate from his dog, their heartbeats are not anywhere in sync. When the boy is with his dog, their heartbeats are in sync. So one of the things, these vibrational levels go on. And we know that your body, the muscles in your body, are a great indicator of how you really feel about something. It's called muscle testing. And if you want to go online, you can look it up. But there are so many ways to do muscle testing. One of the simplest is do just like this, okay? When you are ask your body questions, when it's a solid yes for you, your body knows. And one of the things, if it's a yes, then your muscles are strong. If it's a no, your muscles are weak. And one of the things we know is that you can begin to identify that for your body and for yourself, what's true for you. If you do this and you ask, say your name. Say your name. My name is Ruby, okay? Now, ask your body, what is a yes for me and what is a no? So this is one way to do muscle testing. If you go online, you can see many more. But if I say to me, my name is Ruby Payne, that's a yes. If I say my name is Sally Brown, that's a no. The bottom line is you are learning how to identify the truth for you. And we find that it doesn't work if you're angry, and it doesn't work if you're not hydrated, but your muscles know a lot of what's true for you. A friend of mine, Ruben, had a student who was absolutely certain, it was an 8th grader, that he had to get beaten into a gang. This was in Houston. And Ruben said to him, you know, after numerous attempts, finally Ruben said to him, you know, your body knows the truth. So he had the boy do this, and he had him say, it's in my best interest to be jumped into a gang. No. He said, it's in my best interest to stay in school. And the answer was yes. And the boy was so stunned about his own response to his own information system, he couldn't believe it. Here's part of the reason it works, not totally, but part of the reason it works is this, okay? You have a brain in your brain, you have a brain in your heart, you have a brain in your gut. How many of you have ever done this? You've said, you know, it didn't make any sense, but it felt right, and I did it anyway. That's because of the brain in your heart. If there's an argument between your brain and your heart brain wins. Your body intuitively knows what's good for you. So these are some of the tools, there's more in this chapter, that you can use to help identify emotionally when a student is in distress, what you might do to help them, what's in their best interest, and how you begin to negotiate a better emotional outcome.